Yo, what up, what up? Y'all know what it is. I'm back after 9 months and my 10 months, I think it's almost even 11. So about a year, right? And it's crazy to see, I changed the way that I was thinking and it changed the results of where I was at and where I currently stand right now. And it's crazy to me to see how I look out and I see people struggling, trying to get things they want, trying to get things they want to, become something, trying to have something, trying to do something, and they just can't get it. And the craziest part of it is that they don't realize that the power is within themselves. And that's the God power that you have within you. Realizing that God is within you is part of you successfully getting to wherever you want to go to and getting there 100%. But it's crazy to me how I scroll through, I've been in the background, right? Been on the sidelines, not really playing the front street or nothing like that. And it's crazy to me to see, again, people struggling. They want certain things. They want certain people, let's say, voted into office, because they think the man in office is the one that's responsible for making change on their dinner table. They think the man in office is responsible for making change in what they're experiencing on a day-to-day basis. Whereas that's the power within you. So if you forget about the power within you, start focusing on those other things outside, I could see why y'all running around struggling, trying to make ends meet. It all makes sense to me. But I know at one point in time I was in those shoes and it didn't really make sense to me being in those shoes and not understanding why things didn't end up going my way. So once you understand the power of the mind, right? You understand how powerful it is, what it can do. You understand the power of God, how it works, and you take that into action and you see the total turnaround on your life, just like it had on my life. You get into the power of God and it's going to do some crazy effects on what, you think things can never be touched or changed or circumstances and things like that. And it happens all the time. I'll be at work, things like that, because I have my mind zeroed in on the primary source of why things happen, why your experiences take place. I have my mind on the primary source, which is up here. Everybody else be on the secondary. And it's hard for me to be in the regular world when people be focused on the physical things and not understanding that it's in the mind. And then it hits them, but they still don't wake up to the understanding. For example, you have things go on, let's say in my workplace, and people feel and believe that certain things might lead to making more money or making the job easier. But I'm trying to get them to understand that even when the circumstances are matched, bruh, even when they are exactly the same, we don't always have the same outcome. So when your physical circumstances meet, you still may not get the same outcome or the one that you expect. It's gonna take for you to drum up the thoughts and bring it up here before you actually see the end result end up the way you want it to. It starts here. So that's the point that I'm trying to get to a lot of people, that I gave this thing some time. You know what I mean? I gave it some time. I gave it the 8, the 9, the 10 months. And I decided to see how much of an effect does it have on my life. Can it really change the way that I wanted to? And it's exactly how it unfolded. I found that taking out the negative things in my life has led to more positivity, right? Because the idea behind what's taken into the mind is that you don't subtract, you only multiply and divide and have exponential effects, right? So if you have negative in your system, you have that negativity built within you, just drumming up from your awareness of negative things, you have all that in you. If you want to get it out, the only way is going to be to bring in the max amount of positive things you possibly can, as much as you can, right? In order to drown out the negative because the subconscious mind does not forget. If the subconscious mind doesn't forget, how do you subtract the negative thoughts? Well, in order to do that, you have to drown it out with positive thoughts. So if you have an influx of positive thoughts, you'll see that you'll forget about the negative things because you have so much positive in front of you, all right? I had an old girl at work. She started talking to me about the whole mind science and stuff and how it works. And she wanted to know, she had a question. She said, she was like, yo, what do I do if I'm in an argument and the person's going off on me? I'm in my workplace, the person's going off on me. How do I handle that? So I told her, you know, there's a few angles you can come from with it. Because you have two situations. Number one, you already in a situation, right? This is the first angle, and then I'm gonna get into the second angle. So first off, you in the situation. The fact that you are in the situation, you are witnessing and experiencing the end result of what you've already manifested. It's already done. You at the end point, right? The starting point happens somewhere down the line prior to that incident, prior to that situation. That's the starting point when it hit the mind. And at some point in time, it worked on you enough and built into a belief that that could possibly happen to you, that somebody could go off on you in the workplace. And before you know it, because you brought that into your mind somehow, some way, now that's a possibility of what you might experience, right? So, old girl asking about how to get rid of it. Well, initially, you should have nipped it in the bud before it even came your way. You got to make sure you try your hardest to push out those negative things and be sure that they won't be experienced in your life. You got to keep them out. Now, let's say somebody ran down on you, whatever, whoop-de-whoop, and they decided to tell you that information so you didn't have any control over if it was going to come your way or not. You couldn't block your ears or anything, but it had to come your way. So now you're in the actual experience. So first thing is, number one, you try to block it out. And if that didn't already work, you're sitting in the end result, person going off on you. Number one, keep your inner peace. Keep your inner peace. Anybody going off on you or something like that, you don't turn around, get upset, and go off on them, right? Of course, you trying to hold down your ego and keep it 100, and you don't want to look some type of way in front of everybody else, you might act up and act a certain way, but you gotta get the animal out of you, all right? The only difference between man and animal is the spirituality side. Man has the ability to make that judgment of what he can call something that he wants to get at or something that he wants to just chill out and be spiritual about it, stay within his inner peace and not really mind what's going on. He has that ability to decide what direction he wants to go in. Animalistic side, you just reacting when things pop off, all right? Don't let the animalistic side take control of you, all right? Keep your inner peace. Keep in mind that whatever you're experiencing, you brought it on yourself. Now, if you're upset with that, then you gotta just stop the video. You probably gotta watch other videos and catch up to speed. Because if I told you everything that you're bringing is drummed up from your mind, then bro, you brought it on yourself. The fact that you brought it on yourself also gives you the ability to take it away. It's as simple as that. So how much do you want to do the taking away part of it? A lot, right? So at the moment that it's all going down, you got to keep in mind you brought that in on yourself. What you need to do is you need to forgive yourself. You do not forgive the other person, which you could do that down the line. That's the secondary thing. First person you must forgive is yourself. What did I do to bring this on me, to have this person go off on me? What did I watch? What did I see? What did I witness? What thoughts did I bring about to actually build this experience and make it come about? That's where you need to start. Once you forgive yourself and understand that that's something that you don't want to be part of, you build the understanding within yourself and forgive yourself for even drumming up those thoughts, for putting you on that track. That's when you switch and you have the result of the forgiven self come about, which is, you don't want that in your life. The forgiven self says, yo, that's not in, we're gonna push that to the side, whoop-de-whoop, you know, and then you're gonna have the new experience come about. That new experience is gonna be whatever you manifest. What new thoughts do you have in your mind? I'm hoping it's the opposite of what you decided you didn't want. So if you don't want nobody coming in barking on you or whatever, whoop-de-whoop in the workplace, because you want to keep your composure and not go crazy on them and lose your job, you got to make sure those are not the type of thoughts that you entertaining. The social media and stuff like that, I mean, have your social media, but make sure whatever you're watching on there is not pertaining to that style, that image, or that's going to be what you carry in your mind. And if you let it sink down to the gut, where it sinks into the state of belief, that's when it's gonna open up to you and become one of your experiences. So I had to drop it on old girl, like, yo, listen, that result that you had is something that you brought on yourself. Forgive yourself. Tell yourself you're not gonna bring in those types of thoughts or anything like that, because always realize what you recognize, you energize. So if you recognizing these things, you're energizing it. The fact that you're energizing it, you're gonna put it more and more to the forefront, to where your brain can't think or know anything different other than this negative information that you're bringing in. Negative is what you're making it to be, because you're the one who doesn't want it, right? That's the way that I see it. If she's trying to get rid of anything in regards to something happening immediately, one, you can pre-plan and make sure it doesn't happen, or two, if it has already happened, keep in mind that's only you fighting with yourself. That person that is going off or whatever, that's something that you've brought on yourself. Again, if you can't add up that is your fault, your responsibility, you gotta flip to a different channel. You focusing on the physical things or the outside to get you where you wanna be, not focusing on the inside. You focus here and that'll get you where you wanna be, all right? So for the most part, I've been going for, this long period of time. And like I said, everything in my life happens perfect. Everything is perfect. Everything happens the divine way, all right? The divine order is always in order. So the way that I see it is, regardless of the things that take place, regardless of the things that happen to me, if I'm climbing a mountain, the mountain has ridges, bruh. So as I go through the mountain, I'm going through the ups and downs, it ain't smooth. If the mountain was smooth, we all would just slide right to the bottom. But it takes some climbing, right? And that's what you experience when you get into the top. Now, if you think that all the ridges and things like that aren't supposed to happen, then how would you get to the top? That's the point that I'm trying to make. So when you encounter these bad experiences, these things, you're like, oh man, why is this happening to me? What's really going on? And a lot of times people ask God, what's happening? What's going on? Is you really needing to talk and build the self-positive awareness within yourself. Build the self-positive awareness within yourself. Don't ask what's going on. Tell yourself who you are and what's happening. Tell yourself you're strong. Tell yourself you're getting through this. Whatever you tell yourself is what you're bound to become. It's the direction you're bound to go in. So you're going to see that in order for you to really, 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 let's say, make change, building a belief is going to be everything. So me going this period of time, 8, 9 months, 10 months, I had enough time for me to see that the things that I was thinking was what was bringing about my experiences. So I went ahead, changed all that, and I rolled into this perfect world where the divine order is always in order, regardless of the humps and bumps that I go through. My manifested destiny is at the end of the finish line, and all the in between is the humps and bumps you go through normally, unless you specify mentally and bring about a smooth result, right? If you manifest, a lot of people, so example, let me give you a quick example of what I'm saying. So you manifest like $10 million, right? Keep in mind, and I say manifest, but you just put in your mind, use the power of God within you, and you don't know the how, you're gonna drum it up, right? But not knowing the how is sometimes for some people it's kind of scary, because you not knowing the how, somebody could manifest or think about $10 million, but the way that they get it might be through some type of crazy accident, lawsuit, the whole 9 yards, and they get what they want. They get the 10 mil at the end, which is what their mind actually projected, the end result. But that in between got real rocky. You know what I'm saying? Look at what it took you to get that result. Now, that's what I'm saying. What it took you to get the result of the 10 mil, you don't necessarily have to go through the humps and bumps, the broken, bruised arms, the car accident, the lawsuit, the this, the that, the third. You don't have to actually go through that. As long as you put your mind to a smooth route to your destination, that's what you're gonna get. What a lot of people tend to do is they only see the end. They only see the end result, and that's fine. That's fine. That's the power of God right there. If you only see the end result and you just wait around, don't really worry with the how, and you just let it all flow, as it flows and it goes up and down, just know if it's down, that's God's work. That's God's plan. Let it be down while it's down and watch it go up. Just know that when it's down, always say it's up. Even when it's down, always say it's up. However your life, your vibe, your mood is going, even if it's down, always say you're up, because whatever you are is what you, or whatever you say you are is what you're going to become. That's 100. That's law. You know what I mean? You're not going to change that. So keep that in play and you'll see you'll always have a perfect life. You don't have those down moments. How could I have a down? I just gave you the antidote. How could I have a down moment if on my down moment, I look at it as a high moment and I know that my end result is only part of that moment that somebody might consider to be down? Does that make sense? Somebody might consider that to be where I'm not doing so good, but I know that's all part of me getting to the end result. It's God's work, God power. You know what I mean? So I just wanted y'all to know, I'm gonna drop more videos from here on out. Definitely along the lines of what I'm telling you right now. We sticking with the mind science and all that. That's basically along the lines of what I would like to stick to. I do have some other channels. I have my fitness channel running. It's now getting a new vlog I'm uploading and all that. So that's coming soon. And I'm getting everything into play, into work, getting back on the scene. Just had to step out for a little bit, see how real it was. And it's real, bro. So I'm gonna keep it going. We gonna keep this moving. Y'all stay tuned, y'all stay locked. It's all in the mind, bro. Y'all know what it is. I'm out.